The South African minister has always said that there are different rules when it comes to global outrage and, diplomacy and which lines you should cross and which lines you should not cross. When Russia invaded Ukraine, we saw a lot of global outrage from every part of the world. Everybody was like, this is wrong. And when I say everybody, I mean anybody that matters, not just any random voice, like the big boys. They were like, this is not right. Everybody was condemning Russia for invading Ukraine. But when the same things happen in Africa, nobody speaks. Literally, nobody speaks. Until this day, nobody speaks about the illegal invasion of NATO into Libya that left Libya crippled. Nobody talks about how France has literally invaded West African countries and it has military troops there and it continues to exploit their natural resources while giving these countries nothing in return. Nobody talks about that. But when Russia invaded Ukraine, now everybody is angry about it. Excuse me. And I was listening to a Russian government official who said, if you just flipped the cards a little, you will not be as outraged as you think you are currently.
If you cannot sleep because of Russia-Ukrainian conflict, there are some advices to calm you down. First, imagine that this is happening in Africa. Imagine this is happening in the Middle East. Imagine Ukraine is Palestine. Imagine Russia is the United States.
Hello there, how are you doing? Welcome to another episode of our conversations. My name is Ondiro Oganga. I'm a business journalist by profession and a digital content creator. I love coming on here, having conversations with you guys about Black people, Africans, our empowerment, and how we can rise up and take our rightful place at the global stage. You can connect with me on social media. Ondiro Oganga is my handle on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And you can also connect with me on my YouTube page at Ondiro Oganga, where I document stories of the diaspora community relocating back to Africa and reconnecting with the motherland. I bumped into a very interesting video of a Russian government official, and Russians have this thing where they just speak their mind without the fear of contradiction. They just say it as it is. And this is something that had been said before by the South African Foreign Affairs Minister, Naledi, where she says, there's this fake global outrage about Ukraine that is not real. Because we've never seen this kind of outrage before. It's not that invasions have not been happening. They have been happening. There's illegal invasion every single day. The US illegally has invaded the Middle East. Invaded the Middle East, created instability, created chaos, and nobody said anything about it. People lost their lives, people lost their property. These countries are in unstable conditions and they have left such a huge leadership vacuum that, terror groups and very extreme groups have risen up and taken leadership. And now the lives of people in this country have just gone to chaos and are in shambles, but nobody is mad at America. Nobody is mad at the UK and Portugal and Belgium for invading Africa 50, 60, 70 years ago. Nobody is mad at that. Nobody is mad at France for continuing to implement La France Afrique and, just exploiting African resources at the expense of Africans and African development. Nobody is mad at that. But because Russia is choosing to protect its sovereignty and now everybody is mad. Everybody is mad. Everybody is sending well wishes to Ukraine. Everybody is sending money to Ukraine. What kind of hypocrisy and double standard is that? And he says something that is true, but is also very sad. He says, just flip the situation. Assume Ukraine is a country you don't care about, and assume Russia is a country you all fear. And then the problem is solved. Because you cannot be pretending that you all of a sudden care. You've never cared in all the other scenarios. So what makes you care now? I don't think there's anything to add to this. I also just think, because he mentioned Africa, it's a little bit heartbreaking because it says a lot about how the world perceives the African continent. We're just this place where we have mineral deposits where you can come and take whatever you want as you please, do whatever you want with the continent and the people with no repercussion. Nobody would hold you accountable. Nobody will ask you to take responsibility for whatever you do on the African continent because either way, who cares about us? But then again, it goes to reinforce what we've always known about America, that they will do whatever they want. They will be as impune as possible. They will move with impunity. because nobody can ever hold them accountable. You know, they are America. Who dares speak against them? Who dares rise against them? Do you even have the manpower? Do you have the muscle to go up against America? So it just confirms two things that we've always known, that the world thinks very little of Africa, and America will get away with anything that it ever does, at least in this generation. And that's a little bit heartbreaking, because then those of us who live in developing countries, we are at the mercy of America. At the snap of a finger, our lives could be disrupted in ways that we can never fathom, you know? And so just hearing these leaders say this should be a wake-up call to African leaders to start forming alliances and fortifying themselves, because when your day comes, nobody's going to speak on your behalf, particularly if you're going against America. And that's why it's very important to form new allies and new friendships of people who can, even if they won't speak against America, they will stand by your side in fighting for what you believe in. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again next time. My name is Ondiro Oganga. Connect with me on social media at Ondiro Oganga on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and also on YouTube at Ondiro Oganga, where I document diaspora stories of people relocating from all over the world and coming back to Africa to reconnect with the motherland. I'll see you again next time.